Okay, how was your draft night? What was your draft night experience like?
Oh, it was lit. Man, man, my emotions were all over the place. Like, I think I was really happy to go to the Knicks for sure. My late grandfather, he told me like when I was real young, he always told me like, watch one day you're gonna play for the Knicks. Watch. And that's why I have like a like Knicks hat like when I was like younger, like just wearing and stuff like that. So nah, it was cool, man. It was cool. I was fine. And I remember like they did an interview. My dad came over, and then like, when my dad came over, I started crying because like we work our butt off for this, bro. Like we work hard every day for this stuff. So to see it come true right there was cool, man.
Did you know before draft night that it was, obviously you never know what's going to happen, but that it was a
Hmm.
pretty good chance that it was going to happen?
I thought it was a pretty good chance, especially because I knew John and Zion were going 1 and 2, and I mean it would have looked crazy if it went any other way because I didn't work out for anybody else. So like, they kind of had to pick me. I felt.
I have a question about draft night, and I've watched most drafts prior to me getting drafted, after my draft. I haven't watched everyone, but I've watched most drafts. And your draft class specifically was the first time that I really remember emotion being on display.
Mhm.
Like a lot of you guys, and maybe it was because they interviewed you guys with your parents, and it's you're going through the emotion. But I was so struck by the openness and willingness of your draft class to just be raw in that moment. So many of you guys cried. Like I thought that was one of the coolest things that I've watched
Mhm.
on live television.
Yeah, no, you hit it right there on the head, man. Like I remember I was good. Like I walked across the stage, I got the hat, I shook Adam Silver's hand. I was good, man. Like I was good. And then I started doing the interview. I was fine. As soon as my dad walked over there, bro, like they asked him one question. As soon as he walked over there, all the emotions just came. Like, because man, my dad used to like wake me up in the morning before school, like when I'm like 12, 11, 12, wake me up, take me to the gym before school, like just drive me all over the place, like, just doing all these things for me. So when I saw him come over there, I was like, yo, it's been a long time coming, man. So yeah.
I I think part of this, and you brought up the sacrifices that your dad made. I mean, I'm one of five kids, and um, we all played sports. My parents would drive all over the country, and they'd have a little color coded calendar for when who was going to attend whose games. So there's sacrifices that are made. The other part of this, because I thought about this on that night, is your parents are often the first people that you ever share your dreams with.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my parents were the first people I ever said I'm going to go play at Duke, and that was so that was important that they got to be part of that experience. And of course, making the NBA, I'm sure we've all shared that with our parents. So I think that's so much part of it is like appreciating their role in your journey. And there's certain parents that are probably more hands-on or whatever, but that notion of sharing a dream and then having it become true and then getting to share that moment with them, that's overwhelming. Whether you're 19 or 38, I don't care, what it is. That's such an overwhelming thing.
Yeah, man, that's right, bro. Your parents like this. Man, I didn't know you were one of five. That's dope. That's dope.
We all played D1 sports too. We all played.
Wow.
My parents didn't pay for college. We all got full scholarships. Pretty wild.
Big
actually.
time, fam. Big time,
Yeah,
fam.
it's all right. It's all right.
RJ, JJ also claims that he would have been a professional baseball player with no evidence. He was
RJ, I would have.
He was really good.
I wouldn't have gone to college because I would have been a first round pick out of high school.
With
So
no
I
evidence.
probably
No
would have
evidence.
just gone
But
straight.
just so you know, he'll bring it up to you eventually if I hadn't said it.
Okay.
RJ, I had a question about draft night. Obviously, you knew with Zion, for a while how special he is and how special he was then. When did you know with Ja? Because I do feel like a lot of people knew he was going to go in the top 2 or 3, but I don't think the casual fan necessarily watched him play in college very much. And so they all know now, but when did you know?
Well, I mean, first, like, I saw his highlights, at first, and like I wasn't sold at first when I saw him at the beginning of the year because I'm like I didn't watch the games enough, and also I was competitive, but like when I saw him take that team to March Madness, and then when he had a triple double in March Madness, I was like, okay, he's real, like he's real. But in terms of going number 2, I feel like just with that what it is, what that team needs at the time. Like they got Mike Conley out, and it was like, okay, they literally had the whole franchise built around Mike Conley. So all they did was move Mike and just bring in Ja. And I think that's a huge part of the success right now. But once I saw that triple double, I was like, okay, yeah, he's real.
On that point, RJ, because you mentioned watching his highlights, knowing where he was positioned in the mock drafts and being competitive. And like everybody, if you're a top pick, you want to go number 1 or number 2, whatever it is.
Sure.
Is it hard for you, because it's human nature, is it hard for you not to get caught up in comparing your trajectory and your journey and your timeline as an NBA player with Zion and Ja, because you were the guy drafted right after them?
Yeah, sometimes like one of my assistant coaches on the Knicks, he always tells me, he's like, man, everybody's journey is different. He's like, some guys they got it right away, and other guys it takes them 4, 5, 6 years to get to that goal, get to where they want to be, the type of player they want to be. And in terms of comparing, I don't really. I think teams and where you go and how the team is set up and how it is, all those things matter. Like Zion's also just a freak. He can go anywhere, and just like that guy, man, because he's a guy that doesn't need plays. So that's just his body and what he does. Like he's going to be successful anywhere. And like I said, Ja was kind of placed into that situation where, of course, he had to do it, but the organization was kind of already set up in that way already, So me, I'm just trying to do my thing, just trying to figure it out. Ended up having a pretty good year, so just trying to continue to be the best version of myself.